What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. We are starting things off today with a viewer submission. I'm not 100% sure. I believe this was built by said viewer, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But the builder's link is, or name and all that is in the description as always, either way, for the Steam Workshop file. But we're starting with the EVE Online Tempest, I believe, Cavok? I'm not sure how you're supposed to say that, but that should come as no surprise at this point. So, I've never personally played EVE, so I don't entirely know the purpose of the ship, whether it's a courier, an explorer, whatever. It definitely has some weaponry on the side here, so it seems like it'd be able to handle its own. I'm not sure I'd call it a destroyer or frigate or something, but it definitely looks like it can hold its own. But what really caught my eye, first of all, the design. I mean, we don't see a lot of this kind of design in typical when people just build in Space Engineers, but when you're going off of already established design, you get a lot more of these creative looking ships and things. So this is definitely a different kind of design. We've got like this long neck thing, and if the images in the description or the workshop file are accurate, I believe this is the bridge. So it's got like this long bridge hallway looking thing. And I don't know if in the context of EVE, if these are supposed to be like solar sails. I'm assuming they are. But it would be difficult to do that with like solar panels or something because of the shape of it. So I'm guessing those are supposed to be solar sails, but either way, the design is really cool looking. I really like the look of it. It's definitely different. You don't have a lot of the typical, you know, nacelle engine pods on the side, and then, you know, your kind of standard designs that you see a lot of. Now, given that this is a fairly unique design, and it's fairly different and pretty unique, I'm also not 100% sure about where the placement of the doors may be. Now, for most people, this is not an issue. For some of you that have been watching my stuff for a long time, know this could be fairly problematic for one such as myself, who suffers from what... I haven't actually heard the clinical diagnosis of it yet, but the street version of the name is door blindness. It's where you have a hard time seeing. But see, after a while, if you stall long enough, you can actually find the door. So that's what happened. It's sort of like if you have, you know, mild dyslexia or something. It's not that you can't read stuff. It takes you an extra minute to figure out where all the words are. That's how door blindness works. You'll find the door eventually, but you know, it gives you more trouble than some people. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so there's probably going to be a lot of EVE references, obviously. I'm guessing this is one of them, but I have no idea what they mean. So if you see an EVE reference, feel free to chuckle at your own amusement while I wander around oblivious to the meaning of them. That's pretty much all I can say. I do kind of like the layout, though. I really am impressed with the shape of the ship and stuff. That is very unique. And after you go through a lot of the ships on the workshop and stuff, uniqueness definitely stands out to you more. And things all kind of blur together and start looking kind of the same after a while. So when you actually run across a genuine, different look, it's kind of like, ooh, this is cool. So we've got kind of the bare bones here. We have a survival kit there. Guessing captain's cabin or something. I don't know what size crew this is supposed to be for. I feel like it mentioned it in the description, but I just don't remember what it said, to be honest. We have a lavatory. I believe that's the proper term for that. Most people just call it a bathroom, because most people. You know, but if you want to sound professional, I think that's the proper term. We have a reactor room here. Again, well, okay, that might be just a cycle of graphics. I'm not sure if that might actually just be vanilla graphics. I'm assuming this is some kind of reference to the UI of the game, because it looked like an inventory screen or something like that. We've got kind of our reactor, hydrogen tanks, yada yada. I mean, it does say engineering, so you're not probably shouldn't find the cantina in there. There are quite a few staterooms in here. Oh, that's kind of weird. Oh, that's different. It's like using... Can you actually use this? It's like using the frostbite doors, but it actually makes this wall level, but gives this kind of a little cubby feel. That's interesting. But yeah, there's a lot of staterooms and stuff in here, so I'm kind of guessing it's a fairly decent crew. I'm thinking around 4 or 5, because I feel like we've seen at least 3 or 4 rooms. And, you know, a lot of times you could have rooms be for multiple people, and one's asleep, one's awake on shifts, so anytime you see, like, 2 or 3 rooms, you could have up to 6 people running the ship, so... we have an interesting cargo and conveyor section down here. I like these loose blocks, or crates, rather. I like that they added those, because it does help add some greeble-type detail to these otherwise relatively plain conveyor rooms and cargo. You know, you just have a row of cargo containers or something, so it gives it a little bit of spice to it. This is interesting. This is a very... They must have used the clean armor texture here, because this looks really smooth. Like, it's just kind of this glossy, shiny hallway. I'm not sure what this is for. I didn't see a sign. It may be like a weapons control. There's nothing on the hotbar, but I think the sign said something about secondary gunnery position or something. What does it say? Deck 3, lower gunnery, fire control, and storage. So obviously we have the storage and stuff here, so that's got to be the lower gunning position, I'm guessing. Upper gunnery. Upper? I didn't see any gunneries up here. I feel like I missed something now. Okay. We saw back there. Let's go ahead and take a gander at the bridge area. And we'll give it a little bit of a test flight. So many doors. Now this has a pretty cool visual effect, I'm not gonna lie. Some of it's just the accidental, well, not accidental, but placement of the sun coming through the windows and stuff, but this actually has a really cool look to it. I like that. The walls here almost remind me of Imperial from Star Wars, where you got that kind of angled, semi-triangular type shape. Ooh, what is this? We got some rainbow colors going on. I don't even know where those lights are. They must be under the stairs, would be my guess. Okay, so we've got camera for midship and connector view, backwards thrusters, jump drives, connector switches, all thruster toggles, hydrogen tanks, and Tempest turrets. Nothing else on the hotbar, so not too crazy. So that's our midship view, and that's the connector view, no doubt, for docking procedures. Alright, so let's give it a go. It actually moves really quick. I don't see a whole lot of hydrogen thrusters, though I know they're on here, according to the hotbar, but they must be internal somewhere. And that's backward thrusters. It decelerates a little bit slower, but as you can kind of see just looking at the thruster trails, there's not that many forward thruster or reverse thrusters, so I'm guessing there's some hydrogen ones buried in there, but forward acceleration is really quick, and it actually almost moves like a fighter. So I'm now kind of wondering what type of class of ship this is supposed to be considered in the believe, because it has a feel similar to that of like a Defiant for Star Trek, where it's like, or a Bird of Prey or something, where it's big enough that it's not a fighter and you got like a 6-man crew or something, but small enough that it's not really like a corvette or a frigate either. So and it moves like a heavy fighter or something. So that would be kind of my guess, is somewhere in the Defiant type class. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for this one, so let's move on to the next one. Alrighty, and next up we have a ship with quite the mouthful of a name. It's the MCRN Morrigan-Class Scipio Africanus. And I was not reading that. I just happen to know it very poorly off the top of my head. One thing I have to say about this ship right off the bat is it's significantly smaller than I thought. The screenshots and everything make it look like a really big freighter type ship, and it's actually not. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not. It's probably more like a corvette, maybe. Kind of. It's actually pretty small, which is kind of crazy, to be honest, but it looks really cool. One thing that I have to give credit to this ship for is the industrial feel. This thing looks like a workhorse, you know, like it's got all this rusted armor, a lot of very symmetrical, just grid-based placements of things, but you can tell that it's done on purpose, because then you got this cool angular type design on the hull and stuff, so it's not like, oh, well, I just built a box. It's like, no, this was done on purpose, but it looks really cool. It looks like the type of freighter ship you'd see getting attacked by pirates or something in a Star Trek or Star Wars show or something like that. It looks really, really cool. There are a couple of things that I'm curious about. We do have a remote block here. I'm wondering if that's just for like an autopilot. Because I've never really delved into the autopilot stuff that much, but I've seen some other ships that use it. We have what looks like a custom turret that would just demolish you. I mean, there's 9 Gatling guns here, so that's something you would definitely want to stay out of the way of. I see hydrogen and ion thrusters. I'm not sure if that would mean that it can transition atmospheres or not. I think some of the screenshots had it on planet, so I'm guessing the hydrogen is enough, but I'm not sure. I'm seeing a lot of merge blocks, though. This looks like maybe decoys. And I like the turret alignment here. That's pretty cool. I'm also seeing these cool-looking merge doors. So I'm guessing that's your main entry point. And this also is an end of the ship I would stay away from. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 12 chain guns pointed your way, and it looks like 6 reloadable rocket launchers. So, if you're within the inside border of this kind of semi-triangular shape, get out of it or be a friend. One of the two, because, yeah. Now, one thing that was listed in the description is that you do need a jetpack to get into the cockpit. I'm guessing from the inside, because the industrial cockpit apparently doesn't allow you to get in through the back like the other cockpits do. I'm also seeing these landing gears here, which, if that works and those clear those blast blocks, I kind of feel like I want to do that with all of my ships from now on, because that's pretty cool to have them concealed like that, but it's still pretty believable. So, without further ado, let's see if we can open these doors. I need to figure out how to do these, man, because these look really cool. Wow, this is a snug door. Holy crap. Yeah, I need to figure out how to do these. So, they've got... I'm going to turn my lights on. I love the atmosphere and ambiance in the ship too. It looks really cool, but I am probably going to have to be flipping my lights on and off. So we've got a regular piston merge block attached to a group of blast door blocks surrounded by some other angles to cover them up. That's pretty cool and not terribly difficult. The timer block here is probably controlling the merge blocks on and on. That's a cool door. I like it. Okay, so again, kind of like I mentioned about the exterior, it looks as though the interior is significantly smaller than I was expecting. But look at this. This is so cool. This is so cool looking. We've got like this kind of just moody... Look at that! That's so awesome! And if you look at it, it kind of reminds you of that, or it reminds me anyway, of that kind of, like I said, industrial, pipes exposed, crap laying around everywhere, almost like a mechanic workshop kind of look to it, that it's so packed, it's so dense with all this different stuff, that it actually looks really cool. I like it a lot. And I missed this before. They've got these cool little glass panes over each one of the conveyors so you can see the piping, but it's concealed with the little light. Man, this is cool. This is so cool. Oh, what's up there? Is that landing gears? Or wheels? I'm not sure what that is. That might be landing gears. That's cool, though, that you can see through all the stuff. All the glass lets you see it, but it's still kind of tucked away. That's a pretty neat little... Man, this must have taken a lot of work. Like, I do not feel like this was just one of those builds that, oh yeah, I did it in like an hour or something. And if so, good lord. Okay, so now I see what's kind of going on is they do... Yeah, the cockpit apparently does not have a back entrance. That's odd. So we get in this way. And, of course, I thoroughly read over the description and basically glanced over the hotbar thing. So, we have Gatling guns, reloadable rocket launchers, cameras for the front. Oh, it does have atmospheric thrusters, so it can land on planets, apparently. Hydrogen thrusters, ion thrusters, timer blocks for the decoys, gravity gens, connectors for the top and bottom, landing gear pistons, landing gear controls, beacons, welders. The welders, I believe, are a self-repair for the turrets. We have parachutes, and that looks about to be it. So, I do want to check out the landing gears if I can get a little bit of a zoom in on that. Oh yeah, I'll be dip. So they're basically just pistons with landing gears, but surrounded by blast door blocks. That's pretty cool. It actually looks pretty legit, like it's just a little bay for your landing gears. That's pretty neat. I'm assuming there's a bit of a discussion about this in my in one of my other videos where this happened. I'm assuming that turret is controlled with a slave script where it's probably automated, so there's not a manual control for it, is my guess. So let's give the front weapons a test. Okay, so it is actually controlling that top turret, but it's not moving it. That's interesting. Yeah, just stay away from the front of this thing. Just do yourself a favor, just don't be in front of it. That just seems like very hazardous to your health. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just don't. Just get in, like, behind and under this thing so that it can't hit you. Oh, it has turrets on the bottom, too. Never mind. Just stay away from it. Just don't fight it, is the bottom line. Especially when it accelerates that quickly. Holy crap. Wow. This is like a fighter. Holy cow, dude. Yeah, just do not go up against this thing. Between its maneuverability and its armaments, I feel I'm not the best experienced with PvP in ship-to-ship combat in Space Engineers, but with this type of maneuverability and the range of weapon arcs it's got, I would just leave it alone. That doesn't seem safe. I mean, straight on from behind is about your only option that you're going to be able to approach it without getting shot with a bunch of different turrets. Because right about there, if you go too low, you'll get hit by the bottom ones. If you go too high, you get the other one. So you have to just fly in completely in line with the back of it. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for this one. Let's move on to the last one. Okay, so lastly, we have Black Sails, which I'm super excited about because you guys know me, I like pirate ships. I think they're really cool, and they're also very difficult to make in Space Engineers, and this has to be one of the best attempts, if not the best looking one I've seen thus far. It just looks awesome. So I can't wait to get in here and look at all this. I mean, they did use the wood texture, even though it's a gray color. So it's still kind of all the wood stuff except for the gold. This would actually be a really fancy ship in like back in the pirate era. But look at this, we got a back balcony. Oh, I can't wait. And also the work on the sails is incredible. I don't even care how it was made. I really don't. Like, I don't care if you use rotors, I don't care if you copied and pasted, it doesn't matter. The sails look incredible. It really reminds me of the Flying Dutchman from the second and third Pirates of the Caribbean with like that ripped, tattered kind of sail look. It's a good thing that in Space Engineers you're more reliant on thrusters, because actually I don't think this would be taking you anywhere if you were reliant on wind. But I'm actually starting to realize, I'm not sure, but I almost think this is all small grid. Is this all small grid? I think it is, which explains a lot of why it's so detailed looking. If everything is a small grid thing. Ooh, that's cool. That's an interesting place for it. That's the one thing that is a little bit annoying with Space Engineers in terms of people building pirate ships, is that in order to make the ship accurate, you have to use enough blocks to make things big enough so that you can fit all the stuff. But then you end up with this like giant, huge ship, and when you try and do like a helm or something, you've got this big balcony, and you'd have like a tiny little seat there. But holy crap. And I have to say this, I love this lighting. However they did this lighting, love it. Because it's like, even if you're standing on deck or something, you can just see this glow from under, inside the hull. Oh, this looks so cool. And we've even got, look at this, we've even got, little cannons, which is awesome. It's so cool. So, I mean, just tons of attention to detail here. I think it's really, really cool. I also will say that doing the whole thing in like a small grid, blah, 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 sorry for making everyone dizzy. Stupid mag boots. I will say that adds a lot to it as far as just the level of detail everything is. When you try and do these in like large grids and stuff, it just... They work, but they're not nearly as complex. Like, you don't get all these little shapes in the railing. Whatever this is going on that looks awesome. Oh my goodness, I cannot deal with these mag boots. Hate them so much. But yeah, I love this little decorative design in here. It works really well. They also had that, oh, like here. This is another example. That's really cool. I wouldn't have even thought to do that, actually. Alternate the inverted and regular slope edges and stuff and putting them together and things. That's really cool. And like that looks really neat. They did a inverted to make almost a border around it. That's really cool. Way to be creative. Alright, so let's go below deck. And let's see, I'm going to turn my headlamps off. Check this out. Look at the lantern. What? Okay, that's awesome. I didn't even think to do that. So it's inverted Or not inverted, it's... Oh, it swings! What? What? It's actually a hanging lantern. Okay, that's kind of awesome. That's pretty cool. I didn't know it would do that. Alright, so we're looking at a base corners, or base slopes. 2x1 base slopes. My OCD's killing me. I'm trying to straighten it back up. And then there's glass with a standard block in the middle and lights on it. That's so simple, but so cool. Man, there's just so much about this ship that's awesome. And once again, I like this pattern thing. It looks kind of weird at first, but the more I see it, the more I'm kind of like, this is really cool. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so this leads out to the bow area, which is cool. Oy, 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 oy. It's so annoying. So far, that's my only complaint about this ship, is apparently we do not have gravity on it, so we have to rely on stupid mag boots. But man, whatever lighting settings they're using here works perfectly, like the fall off and intensity and everything, and the color works awesome. We've even got these cannons down here as well. That's so cool. And that actually is pretty accurate for a Space Engineer version, because these rocket launchers actually have to be loaded from the front, I believe. So it actually is kind of accurate that you'd be firing them and then have to reload them after a while, so that's pretty cool. We hit a dark spot back here. I'm guessing this is kind of just like a empty cargo area if you wanted it to be. We've got a balcony back here. Man, this is cool. I do apologize for all the bobbing around. Blame stupid mag boots. This is also a really nice archway, by the way. Using the half blocks and then the base slopes. It makes a nice semicircle as far as it actually kind of looks curved. Some things it's like you can tell it you're trying to make an arch or something and it just doesn't really sell it, but that actually looks pretty legit. Alright, let's see what goes down here. I'm saving the captain's quarters for last in case it wasn't obvious. Oh, this is just kind of a little compartment, it looks like. It doesn't really go anywhere. Maybe for extra storage, but these little lamps are cool. It almost reminds me of redstone lamps from Minecraft, because it's just like a block, but then it's illuminating everything. Or glowstone is probably more accurate because it's got that yellowish hue to it. But yeah, it kind of looks like somebody just went through and put glowstone in here. And check this out, we even have a red carpet. That's so cool. Red carpet for the captain. Man, I'm just gonna say this. If all the shiny stuff on this ship was actually like supposed to be gold or whatever, whoever this pirate is, they're balling. That's all I'm saying. Like they're rolling in some gold. But yeah, this is cool. Look at this. Got the ornate table and things for me to get caught on with my mag boots. This is really cool. Guessing this is kind of the war room area. We got our little storage and stuff going on here. I will say, I guess that's kind of accurate, because I was going to say I don't see like a bed or anything, but I guess the quarters was a bit more of a planning place. I think there would have normally been a bed there, but whatever. It's still really freaking cool. Alright, so let's give it a whirl. What do we got here? Rocket launchers, I'm guessing broadside, and then landing gears. I didn't see any landing gears. I wonder what that's... If that's actual landing gear. I don't see any on the bottom, so I'm wondering what that's holding. Oh, they're unlocked at the moment. Interesting. Alright, let's try a broadside, because we gotta. Oh! Remember how I said stay away from that other ship? Whoa, whoa, where'd they go? Where'd they go? Invisible missiles! That's weird. It's like ghost rocket launchers. Oh, now the left side's doing it. What the heck? Wasn't me, I didn't do it. Okay. Are we moving? It occurs to me, I don't know if there's any thrusters on here. Did I accidentally paste it in as a ship? Or a station? No? Perhaps... I don't recall seeing anything in the description, but it's possible that it's not quite complete. Oh, it's an atmospheric. Oops. I was like, wait a minute. But now that I'm looking here, it's an atmospheric ship. Okay. Give me just a second. And almost as if nothing had happened, we are on a planet now all of a sudden. So yeah, let's actually give this a proper test. It was too cool of a ship. I couldn't just have that be the... We have to sail it, right? Okay. I still don't know what the landing gears are for, because I honestly don't see them anywhere. So and it's not locking anything, so I'm not really sure how that's supposed to work. But it actually moves pretty good. Wow. I'm kind of impressed if it's all purely on atmospheric thrusters that it holds, hovers, and accelerates that quickly. That's pretty cool. And it turns really nice, too. Hey, we have our missiles back. No more ghost broadside. That's really cool, though. This is a lot of fun. Oh, the wheel turns. That's kind of awesome. Let's not lie. That's kind of awesome. That's pretty great. The only thing that would be cooler is if we actually had water in this game to where even though it was flying and it could fly, you could like put it in the water and sail it. That would be so cool. I know it's Space Engineers, but come on, that would be cool. Alright, with that, we're going to wrap things up here for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. And also, if you're not already, consider checking out our Discord channel and stuff, because there's a separate area / room for if you see a build that you want shown, or if you have one that you've built yourself that you want shown, it's definitely easier for me to sift through stuff on the Discord server and stuff like that, so feel free and consider checking that out. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.